Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE NXT episode 554 and NXT UK episode 86, broadcast on March 25th and 26th, 2020. I also watched this week's AEW Dynamite, but I didn't take any notes on it. But I did want to mention a couple of things I did enjoy. I don't remember the. Oh yeah, there was a great match. I think it was. Who was it? Was it Sammy Guevara versus Kenny Omega? I thought that was pretty good. So some funny moments that I enjoyed. I liked them gambling in the back. That was fun, of course. And there was a point where Sammy was making out with a caricature poster of Brandy, so that was pretty funny. And it was also funny that they had those caricature posters in the audience, in the front row. And then there was a fun dinner, a Dark Order dinner segment where Brody Lee was doing his thing, and then talking about freedom and all that. But then as soon as either of the guys eating with him went to eat, he got really angry that they were eating before he was finished eating. So that'll be interesting to watch. And then of course everybody's talking about the ending segment with Chris Jericho cutting a promo on Vanguard, the drone. And then after Vanguard declines his invitation to join the Inner Circle, Matt Hardy appears, and he teleports all around the empty arena, and then ends up in the ring, and being confronted, or not, they confront each other face to face. And Chris Jericho asks him if he's going to choose the Inner Circle or the Elite, and he chooses Delete, and that was a whole thing. So yeah, those were the parts that I liked, that I can remember. There's other stuff that I liked as well, but that I didn't, like I said, I didn't take notes, and I didn't want to go bullet point by bullet point like I do for. That I will be doing right now for NXT and NXT UK. Let's go, just because it's a lot shorter. I wanted to keep this episode kind of short. Also, I'm not doing this one as a live broadcast, so if you are listening to this and you're wondering, I want to see, I don't know why you'd want to see the video version anyway. It's not that much of an improvement of an experience, but if you go to YouTube, this episode is just an audio version of the episode, so don't worry, you're not missing out on anything this time around. But I do plan on SmackDown. I'm recording this on Friday. SmackDown is just in a couple of hours, so I do plan on doing that one as a live stream right after 205 Live is done. So anyway, on NXT UK, I believe this is the third of 4 episodes that they finished, that they filmed in the last batch. We had opening match was Ashton Smith and Oliver Carter versus Imperium's Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner. They won via that the European not European uppercut, is whatever they call it. Yeah, it was European Bomb, I think they call that one, where it's the European uppercut into the power bomb combo. Then we had Nina Samuels versus Aoife Valkyrie. I like this match even more than the last Aoife Valkyrie match from just a couple of weeks ago. There's a spinny snapmare thing that she did that was really cool. And then because she was up on Nina Samuel's shoulders, and then usually you'll see that turned into either a Hurricane Rana or a what's the other one, or an arm drag. but she turned it into like a snapmare type of thing. So I really enjoyed that. And then she won via her big flying leg thing, which I don't know the name of that move. But Aoife Valkyrie is victorious. I think she could be headed towards challenging Kaylee Ray or Piper Niven, depending on who's the champion after those two finish going after each other. Whenever that is able to happen, this, like, everything on NXT UK is very likely going to be on hold for a while, because of how many like production people and everything have to be able to get over to there. I think is the biggest issue to overcome with that. And so I haven't heard anything. I know they don't want to put any focus on that at all, because we're getting through WrestleMania first. So we'll see how that what they end up doing with all that. But I mean, I think there's probably plenty of capable hands out there. Commentary, you don't even really need to have people in the building for that. It would be a completely different show, but I think they could definitely pull off some kind of show without having to get people over there and all that kind of thing. So I don't know what their plan is. Maybe they'll just put everything on hold for a little while. But up next we had Noam Dar versus A-Kid. This was after we find out, or at some point, throughout the episode, they're talking about a battle royal that's going to happen next week. It's a 20-man battle royal, so obviously this is filmed before everything that's going on, because they couldn't have that kind of battle royal now. But that battle royal will determine who the next contender for the UK Championship is. So I believe Finn Balor is in that battle royal. I assume he's probably going to win that. But it's cool to see everybody talking about being in it and hyping themselves up with all the like selfie promos and stuff like that. But anyway, Noam Dar versus A-Kid. Noam Dar won that match. I kind of wasn't paying attention during this one, so I don't remember any specific moments. So moving on. The main event, I did give my pretty much my full focus to this one. It was Jordan Devlin defending the Cruiserweight Championship on NXT UK for the first time against Travis Banks. There's this one moment where Travis goes for a suicide dive and Devlin just... No, or was it the opposite? Who ended up on the ground? I think Travis Banks went for the suicide dive, and he just... Oh, maybe it was... Anyway, whoever did it, they ended up just darting right into the barrier, and that was pretty intense. There was also a great moment where they exchanged headbutts. So Travis Banks hits Devlin with a headbutt, and then like kind of falls to his knees, and Devlin kind of composes himself and then like falls forward. And now that when they showed the replay, I don't know if they showed a replay. I rewound it because I wanted to see that again. He knew it at first. I thought, oh, he passed out, and then as he was passing out, he happens to hit the head, but there's definitely intent behind it, that it was like, oh, I'm falling down anyway, going to turn this into a headbutt. So, I mean, obviously, either way, it was on purpose, but the story of it, I thought, I'm not sure. It was more entertaining when I thought that, oh, it was him passing out and that happening, but it was still really cool either way. And then Devlin gets kind of a roll-up pin where right before the 3, he grabs a hold of the ropes. He like does like a whole like bending around wrap up sort of I don't even know how to describe what he did, but he gets his hands on the ropes, and then as soon as he wins, he uses the ropes to pull himself out of the ring to get out of there. And some people pointed out that he didn't grab the ropes pretty much until after the 3 count. And I kind of agree with that. He did grab him before the 3 by like just a hair. So I would argue that he wasn't actually cheating, that he was just grabbing the ropes so he could get out of there once the pin was complete. So that's my defense of Jordan Devlin cheating. Also, I made a graphic of because this week I'm going to get to this in a second, because we had Austin Theory fight Tyler Breeze in the opening of this week's NXT. With his facial hair, Austin Theory, I feel like, looks like a bigger Finn Balor. And then everybody, since Devlin first started in NXT UK, is always comparing him to Finn Balor as well. And I think that Jordan Devlin is the smallest of the 3. So I made a side-by-side graphic of Jordan Devlin, then Finn Balor, and then Austin Theory, and that put that next to the first 3 evolutions of Frieza. Because he's like just a little tiny guy, and then he's a little bit stronger, but then he's a huge guy in his 3rd form. So yeah, I had fun with that. No interactions with that on Twitter, though. I don't think anybody. I didn't like tag it really very well or anything. I didn't tag the people in it or anything like that. I just put it on my main Twitter at JKire, JKIRE. Anyway, okay, so next week we'll have that 20-man battle royal. Hopefully we'll see some Kaylee Ray on that episode to lead up more into what's going to happen next, whenever next is. And so that brings us to this week's NXT. The commentary team for this episode was Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton. NXT UK was still Nigel McGuinness and what's his name? The guy who was doing the in-ring announcing before this. I don't remember his name, but they're pretty entertaining. I mean, Nigel McGuinness alone is a delight to listen to. So whoever he has to be able to play off of, it will work pretty well. Anyway, we had Austin Theory versus Tyler Breeze. Lots of trash talk throughout this match, and use of Tyler's phone, trash talking into the phone, and making a video for Tyler to watch later. But Austin Theory got too cocky, and Tyler got a roll up. It wasn't a roll up. He hit the beauty shot. He took advantage of him being distracted by making the selfie videos and all that, and got the win. Then we had Killian Dane versus Tahuti Miles. Killian Dane won this match via murder. The murderous trio of a huge clothesline, followed by a huge senton into the Vader bomb. So, like, any one of those by themselves from Killian Dane would just be the end. But all 3, there's no way that Killian Dane wasn't going to win that. Then we had Cameron Grimes versus Tony Nese. Cameron Grimes won after hitting a double stomp. Then we had Xia Li versus Aaliyah. Aaliyah. I said it in a way that isn't what. Okay. So Aaliyah versus Xia Li. But after Aaliyah made her entrance, we see that Xia was attacked in the back. I think it was probably Vanessa Bourne who did it, or just Aaliyah herself, that she just wanted to get a bye into the ladder match. So Xia Li is not cleared, but somebody is. You know, that the best music in all of NXT, which I do no justice at all to. But Io Shirai is back. I'm so happy about that. And she wins after hitting the company's most perfect moonsault. And she's in the ladder match. And next week so it's been announced that the matches that were planned for NXT Takeover Tampa are going to take place over the next 2 weeks. So we have the North American Championship match. We have the Velveteen Dream versus Adam Cole. The tag team title match, I think, maybe. So all of that will be on the next 2 weekly episodes instead of being on a special takeover. And to determine we still haven't determined who all is in this ladder match to determine the number one contender to challenge the NXT Women's Champion. So that was alleviated partly today, but there's also another match to get the fifth member of that match, but we need a sixth, and the sixth will be determined by a second chance gauntlet match next week. So that'll be pretty awesome. So at this point, I took a break from watching NXT live so I could watch this week's Survivor. Go check out that episode. I really, really enjoyed this week's episode of that. But I came back to it after that was done. Like I had it on the DVR, so I could fire it right up where I left off. We got a teaser for Dexter Lumis. He is super awesome. I've seen him live a couple of times, and he's just really entertaining. And it's going to be interesting to see how I think he's appeared on TV once or twice before, but not like full presentation of his very strange character. So yeah, I'm excited for that. We had Keith Lee come out and talk. Then Dominik Dijakovic comes out and Damian Priest comes out, and they all want a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Let's see. He says, you both of you are just quarreling, and then Damian makes his way into the ring, but Dijakovic shoves Keith out of the way to save Keith. And they go at it, Dominic and Damian, and then we get a huge senton flip to them and the outside by Dominic hitting Keith Lee, and all kinds of stuff happens. I didn't write down beat by beat what happened, but it's going to be a triple threat, and that's going to be just amazing. It would be amazing to see that in person, but hey, I think if there's any match that is going to be awesome regardless of their environment, this is it. Absolutely. So I am really excited for that. We got a promo from Adam Cole just hanging out in his backyard. I forget exactly what he said, but he was, his usual confident self. Then we had Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch take on Shane Thorne and Brandon Vink. And the Oni and Danny won via double submission. So I'm not sure who were the legal guys in that situation, but the good old 1-2 got the 1-2. They didn't get the 1-2-3. They got a tap out. Then we had another qualifier match for the women's ladder match. Candice LeRae versus Caden Carter. Caden Carter. Candice LeRae won that match via the Gargano escape. What did I write here on the side? Oh, that's right. So the ladder match will be in 2 weeks. Next week will be that second chance challenge with Caden Carter, Shotzi Blackheart, Aaliyah, because Aaliyah, and Xia Li, because she was taken out of action for that. And then who else is in there? And a couple of other people. Oh, Dakota Kai, of course. So okay, that gauntlet, absolutely, Raquel is going to get involved with that to help Dakota Kai win that gauntlet in some way, whether it's by taking out people in the back or just intimidating them when they're on their way to the ring. We'll see how all of that plays out next week. And then we had our main event match, Matt Riddle versus Roderick Strong. They're attacked by two big... Okay, so Matt Riddle got the win, but then right afterwards he was attacked by these two huge guys, and then Malcolm Bivens comes out and introduces these guys. He doesn't introduce them by name, though, so I had to look up who they are. It is they're the future of the tag division, he says. Rinku and Saurav are their first names. And these guys are huge. I'm looking forward to see what they can do in a match. There was one awkward moment during it, but the Irish whips are so awkward anyway. But that was the most that really stuck out in my mind. Was that very strange Irish whip transition as they were attacking Matt Riddle. But other than that, I'm excited to see what these guys are going to do. So next week, like I said, we have that second chance gauntlet match. We have the triple threat for the North American title, and then we also will have Velveteen Dream versus Bobby Fish. So then the week after that, I think we'll get Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream. Maybe? I'm not sure. But what was I going to say? Oh, another interesting thing is that they weren't at the Performance Center. They were at Full Sail. So I'm wondering if they did that so that they could be filming both at the same time, and also keep the rosters separate as much as possible, like not using all the same facilities and all of that. That they have their own setup and like green room and all that kind of thing. That it could help isolate things a little bit better. But also, having those two separate facilities, they could very well have been working on both shows, whether it's Raw or SmackDown, at the same time as that they were getting stuff done for NXT over there. So that's pretty cool. Triple H comes out. It says just a few words before Tommaso Ciampa interrupts, and then he demands that Johnny Gargano gets out there so that they can end this or whatever. And Johnny doesn't want to get into the ring. He's not dumb. And he talks about how all this is because why is he being fined? Because all this is Ciampa's fault. Like how he jumped through the trainer window to try to escape. So that was a great callback to that old Mario Jannetty and Shawn Michaels barbershop segment from all those years ago. But is it like Triple H was starting to hype it up like this match should be on the biggest stage of them all or whatever, and they kept like interrupting him, and finally he was like, okay, I'm gonna find a building and you're just gonna fight in there in 2 weeks. It's gonna be an empty building and it's just you, camera, and referee, whatever. That's okay. I was gonna give you a WrestleMania match, but fine. You just had to keep interrupting me throughout this whole thing. So that'll be interesting. Where are they gonna end up fighting? What if they? Oh, how amazing would it be if they fought in Disney World? Oh, what building in Disney World would be the best for them to be fighting in? Let me know what you think in the comments or by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Okay, so that was it. I did it. This episode was kind of like a breath of fresh air from the last couple of weeks of WWE stuff. Other NXT UK has been great too because it's just they've just been normal episodes since they've already been made. But this one just top to bottom, match after match after match. How many matches were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches in 2 hours, with just enough like promos and stuff like that. It wasn't. The opposite of that is what Raw and SmackDown have been recently. There's no replays of anything either. So yeah, I'm so excited for next week's NXT and the week after that because it's basically an NXT takeover that's too big for one night since it is gonna be across 2 nights. So Anyway, yeah, let me know what you thought about these episodes of NXT and also Dynamite. What were some great moments that I didn't talk about that you really enjoyed? Because likely I really enjoyed them as well. I just forgot to talk about them or write them down. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe, healthy, and happy out there in all of the infinite multiverses. And I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.